Hello and welcome to the fourth session of Tachyon Squadron. This is a fate-based game of space fighters and written by Clark Valentine. It's a really lovely book. It's one of the really excellent fate reskins in some ways that are kind of complete that are out there. And we're on our third session with our space pilots who have been flying according to mission, blowing up bad persons, and living their best lives. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming group / community / club. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. As we do with all games in the Gauntlet, we use a layered set of safety tools. I'm going to briefly go over those before I have players introduce themselves. And that is to start with our lines of veils or baselines. We have hard lines on the following things: epidemics, graphic gore, harm to animals, harm to children, homophobia, racism, sexism, sexual assault, torture by the PCs, transphobia, and detailed graphic descriptions of deliberately inflicted head trauma. And then we have veils, meaning that we fade to black, or if we mention it, if we don't dwell on it, we elide what we're presenting. And those are on mind control, sexual content, slavery, and torture. So those are out there as the baseline. We use the X card as our second set of tools if we maybe start leaning towards one of those things from lines and veils that we haven't quite caught, or if we hit other material people find objectionable or problematic, we use the X card. And then lastly, the open door, meaning that if you need to step away, if you need to go for whatever reason, you are more than welcome to do that. If you tell us that you're going to be back, that's fine. If not, that's cool as well. So those are on the table. So our team are members of Tachyon Squadron, a fighter squadron, part of the Draconis Combine, fighting against multiple foes. In this case, they've been fighting against space pirates. And last time they were put on a kind of an interdiction mission, trying to stop pirates from a raid. They were around a particular planet, stopped a great number of the pirates, but a couple of them got through. But more importantly, the group picked up a signal from persons on the planet indicating that the missing crew taken from the ship that they had found floating in space a couple of sessions ago were in fact hostages being used here present on the planet, and that the pirates at the space base were setting explosives. And so our team is heading down to the planet, and we're going to be bringing in a fifth pilot today, someone on the ground, and we'll come back to who they are in just a moment. But let's have the quick and dirty 30-second elevator pitch on who your character is. Caden, legacy, 30-second pitch. Who are you?
All right. Hi, I'm Vince. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Caden. Caden is the youngest in a long line of fighter pilots, and he's trying to live up to the spirit of his late father. He has maybe a little bit of a Napoleon complex where he thinks of himself as the leader of the squad, or at least its fiercest defender, when really that's not very much the case.
Awesome. And pronouns he, him on Caden as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next is Butterfly, the handle. Elsie, let's have you give us your pitch.
I'm Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. Elsie is a wide-eyed farm girl who wanted to get out and see the galaxy, but she also comes from a very Quaker family. She thought she could somehow fly both combat missions and maintain her pacifist, more or less, stance, and that has been tested quite severely.
Excellent. And then next is Katya.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Ekaterina Domanova, she, Katya to everyone, whose call sign is Mockingbird. And she is a veteran pilot who has basically bucked any attempt to promote her repeatedly in order to stay on the firing line. She is also a highly viewed vlogger and has a a tongue that could cut titanium if you get on her wrong side.
And I believe you have one stress marked because you took one hit last time on your shields, but that was it. So you should mark one stress for that.
You got it.
Okay. But speaking of stress, we come to Zeus. Tell us about who Zeus is, Harry.
All right. I'm Harry, he, him pronouns. I'm running Ezekiel, also he, him. His call sign is Zeus, stands for zero effort unless supervised. He's a really laid back, chill kind of guy who also happens to be the squad scrounger. And he's been quietly killing a lot of people in the last few missions. So
yeah, you've
been
really
pretty fun.
racked up the kills. Excellent. And now we have a new pilot. Anya, tell us who you are going to be playing. Introduce yourself and tell us who you're going to be playing.
Pronouns she, her. I'm playing Alex Cortez. Her pronouns, well, they are they, them. Alex is a runaway from her family's company back on her native planet. And the best way she found, or the most immediate way she found to run away, was to join the army, the force. So she's doing what she can to avoid coming back.
Awesome. And you've picked a couple of aspects. Tell us about the ones you've picked so far.
Yes, I chose turn away her family fortune to join the force, which is, well, what I was just saying. She simply doesn't want to run the family business. She doesn't like the business aspect of her life that she was being trained for or groomed for, and so she ran away. To prove herself, that she could do literally anything else, she turned to the easiest path she could find. So she just signed up for the army, and she's here, and she's doing just her best. So, but for the compression, she likes to. They like to jog and just to fly as fast as she's able to, as they are able to in order to. I think it's also this metaphor of running away from home. And I think they had some kind of accident. I don't know if during training or a previous mission, that she's slowly losing her sight. And but they won't tell anyone because they simply don't want to go back home. So they are pushing themselves for as long as they are able to.
So you're part of, we'll call your squadron that you were part of, Viper Squadron. So what happened? Did you get left behind? Were the rest of your squadron destroyed? What do you think has occurred? Did you go off course and get separated? What happened?
I think Alex was left behind. I know it had something to do with their eyesight, but I'm not sure about what yet.
Yeah. So you got thrown off. You got separated, left behind. The rest of your squadron maybe thinks that you got destroyed in the interdiction, and they went out to the next rendezvous point. You were forced to land, and as you were coming down, you picked up a very low-level transmission, essentially from someone panicked on the planet, indicating that they were part of a set of hostages that had been taken by these pirates and were at a base location, and the pirates were getting ready to leave and were getting ready to blow the station up. And so you were sitting there and picked up that there was another squadron in the area, and we're able to relay that information to them. And so we kind of take up on the planet there. And Alex, of the members of Tachyon Squadron that have been introduced, who do you think you know the best?
I think Ezekiel, mostly because maybe it's the contrast of me trying to do as much as I can in order to stay here, and Ezekiel doing as little effort as possible.
I like it. I like it. And Ezekiel, what's your perception of Alex?
I think they just need a more chill atmosphere, and I try to bring that to for them. Just
Perfect.
come on down a little bit. Don't have to rush everywhere.
So I'm going to kind of hard frame to bring us all together kind of on the same page. You did a sweep by of the pirate base. They had some automated guns kind of forced off and peeled yourselves away kind of below detection level to land where Alex has their plane, or sorry, not plane, ship down. And so this is one of those rough planets with the blowing dust and wind. You don't want to be out in the atmo, out in this horrible conditions for that long. All of you have your rebreather masks and so on. You all have sidearms, and you all have whatever personal gear that you have. And I think in that dust and haze, we see the four roll out of their ships and head over to meet up with Alex. Now, because this is a new scene, those of you who have stress have the opportunity to clear that stress. Reset your fate points up to whatever your refresh is. So everybody has 3 fate at this point. Caden, you have 2 stress, right? So you get to make a discipline roll, and the difficulty is 2. You want to beat 2 by a margin to clear that stress.
Okay, well, I'm pretty disciplined.
Yeah, let's see if that pays off or not.
And it looks like it might not. So that works out to a 0.
Okay. So as it stands right now, you're going to keep those 2 stress. But you didn't fail like completely, so you don't end up getting more stress. Let's come to Katya, because Elsie, once again, doing cover fire, didn't take any hits there. And so, Katya, I believe you have 1 stress, right?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and roll with discipline.
5.
Oh yeah, you are fine. You are more than fine there. You've cleared yourself, shaken your self together, and are heading out. Zeus.
Yeah,
Ezekiel.
fun. I'm sitting at 5 stress, so let's see what happens. And got a 2, so I missed by 3.
Missed by 3. So that's not good. And let me check what the notes are on that. I always have to look it up because that's a slightly different system there. Oh, there's no penalty for even a big failure. So right now, you just are keeping that stress. Now, if you wanted to, you could mark one of your consequences as a cost and clear your stress bar.
Ooh, okay, yeah. I think I'll do that.
So that's an aspect that then I can invoke against you later during the session.
Okay, and it'll be the mild one.
Yeah. What do you want to call that?
Let's see here. I'm gonna call it a manic phase because it's he's just really hyped up, which is completely off character for him.
So let's set the scene a little bit here. Alex, what else do we see on the landscape of this planet that we're on here with this dust and the haze? What else do we see?
I think communications tower, which is probably something I maybe hacked into in order to communicate with the squadron.
Yeah, it looks like there's some old, like this must have been a mining facility at some point. They left some of these old comms towers up. You hacked into those, and we can see those in the distance. And that actually maybe kind of forms a line towards where this mining operation pirate base is. As the group maybe starts to get together and move, what's another thing we see on screen here, Caden?
There's the mute. So I think that one of the other things we see, we did track all of the other enemy fighter ships that were landing back at the space. And I think that one that took some heavy fire, but got away from us before we were able to take it out, crash lands here.
Oh yeah, there is. You can see, we'll probably see that the illumination of that burning wreckage off in the distance. It's actually providing some smoke and cover as the five of you begin to make your way towards this mining facility. Elsie, so you've got a rebreather mask, got a standard sidearm. What else do you imagine is basic equipment in these tiny cockpits for when you land?
Basic equipment, probably
Yeah.
some sort of survival knife, probably some MREs, first aid kit. You know, basically, it wouldn't fit in. I mean, it's basically a small pack, but it's a very small pack because space is at a premium.
Okay, yeah, a little bit of a packet of water, a little packet of rations, a little food.
Yeah, dehydrated water.
Yeah, excellent. And Katerina, what do we see here that kind of tells you that the pirates have been using this for mining? Like clearly they've had some kind of mining operation going here. You're muted.
There is a crane that goes into there's a pit basically, and there is a fixed crane that's mounted on the shelf of the pit with cable and bucket that goes down some distance, and next to it is a tracked or 6 or 8-wheeled mover of some sort, just a kind of a land barge, if you will, flat, big flatbed truck designed to hold to haul heavy loads.
So it looks like they've got sort of, as you come up, this older pit that's not necessarily in use. It's got the crane over it. They've got a transport out here. You're guessing that the main sort of mining area right now is probably under that base, but you can tell that this is probably a place that was mining important materials and probably some toxic and dangerous stuff. There's enough markers and stickers and warning signs around in the place to tell you that this is not a great mine to work at, even with safety guidelines, which the pirates are probably not following. So then let me ask you this: as the five of you meet up, what is the conversation? What are you saying, Zeus?
But as soon as he gets out of the fighter jet, he's already got his survival gear pulled out of the thing. He's got his sidearm checking the ammo, and he's just moving very quickly and very efficiently. And he's trying to get everybody together, immediately. He's not even checking to see how anybody is or anything like that. He's just like, okay, we got to go. We got to get these people. Let's go. I mean, come on.
And Alex, what's your reaction to this group arriving?
Relief, first of all, and after that, I think maybe I'm just hearing about their mission. They are not here precisely for me, but because there's other stuff to do here. So I'm immediately on board with whatever they are doing. So as soon as Zeus is saying, we gotta get all these people on board, I begin looking for something to signal or something like that.
Absolutely, you can pull some things out of the cockpit. Have some additional communications gear that you can carry with you there. In fact, actually, let's have you make a technology roll. What is your
That's
technology skill?
4 dice, right?
Yep.
Not sure what I did.
Yeah, so for fate, you'll select all 4 dice and then hit the reroll button at the bottom. Or if you've dropped dice in there, you can get them set and then you can roll them.
Okay. So just select them and reroll.
Yep.
Like there.
Okay. So that's a +2. So you will essentially create an advantage. What do you want to call it? Do you just want to call that communication gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, communication gear.
So you create an aspect, we put that on the table, meaning that you can use that like you would use a fate point later on. You can use it to give yourself a bonus, to do a reroll, or you can use it to establish something, like establish that you're able to use it to change the situation in some way. So we've got that on the thing. Is anyone else doing anything as the 5 of you begin to move towards this facility? Let's start with Caden.
Okay, I want to take a look for just signs of life in the immediate area, whether that's seeing if there's footprints coming out from the wreckage to see if there's a survivor from that person that crashed. And if I happen to notice Alex, that's great, just to find another living person that we might be able to help get out of here alive.
Yeah, no, I mean, Alex rolls up with you.
Okay.
So Alex's
Then
ship
I'll be-
appears to be intact.
Okay, I'll be looking to see if that the pirates on board that ship that crashed have made it out alive.
So let's have you roll investigate.
Okay.
And since you're on the move, checking things out.
Okay, that's a 3 total.
That's a 3 total. So is the pirate alive?
I would like the pirate to be alive.
Okay, all right.
We've been pretty focused on people being alive this campaign, which is fun.
So there is that thing where they clearly did suborbital ditch out with essentially force field, but you can see that they've hit the ground. They are still strapped to their chair, unconscious. It looks like they came down, arm broken, but as you move up onto them, they are still alive.
Is anybody here qualified as a medic? Does anybody want to take a look at this guy? He
Medic could be
looks
tech
really badly hurt.
or empathy. I would do that for either one of those. Elsie?
Yeah, I've got 3 in both.
Okay. Then let's have you make a quick roll.
All righty. All right, it's telling me that I lost connection to the game server, so I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, looks like you had rolled 2 minuses. So right now you
And I've got a
to-
+3 on
so,
tech.
so you got a 1. So I think with that roll, they're alive, stabilized, but not conscious right now.
Okay.
So you kind of stand them up, get them set, make sure they're not going to pass away, make sure their rebreather mask is on them. Bind their arm because it does look like it's broken. Katya, what are you doing?
If we're going to rescue anyone, the one thing that we're going to need when we find them is transport, and not fighter craft. So while the fighters may have dived into a bay, there has to be a larger transport vessel here.
Yeah, I think from here, as you kind of scan towards the thing, you can see, you're guessing that you're seeing the above ground level of whatever this facility is. Just based on your knowledge of how these things work, there must have at least a second level underground, and then whatever mining gear there. And you can see there is that landing bay on one side of the facility.
Big enough for a larger vessel than
Pardon?
a fighter.
Oh, yeah,
Big enough
yeah.
for something larger than a
Yeah.
fighter craft,
Definitely, because they would need something like that to transport material.
of course. Check Caden or Elsie, check your men there for security. Any security gear he may have.
I'll pat him down.
Key that will get in through a locked door could possibly be very helpful.
Let's have you roll investigate, Elsie.
All righty. Yeah, I've got a 0 on that, and Caden has +2.
Yeah,
That's something-
I can step in and say, yeah, just make sure that he doesn't get hurt any more than he is.
Yeah.
And if you want to search him for a tracking device, if he doesn't have one, then maybe we can plan to get him out of here and figure out what he's up to. I just don't want them tracking us back to the base, but I'll see if he has a pass card.
Okay, let's have you roll investigate.
Okay, that's a 1 total. I'm willing to spend a fate to get that up to 3 total, though.
Okay.
So I'll take my hitting the books. Like, I know standard practice of, where you hide these kinds of things. If you want to make sure if you're captured, they don't get found. So I know exactly where to look.
Yeah, I think you're actually kind of relieved. It doesn't look like they've got any kind of passkey thing here. You're guessing they might probably hot-wired this mining facility. So it may be, with the exception of like where they keep the people held, is probably pretty easy to move through the facility. Like there aren't a lot of that kind of lockdown things. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. All right, guys, I think we can practically walk right in.
So the question is how
Quietly.
how do we do it?
All right, well, I think disguising ourselves isn't going to be our best path through this since we only have one uniform. I want to take a look around his wreckage and see if there is, I don't know, if there's any way that we can get a second person in, like if they have any kind of, I don't know, like basically a wagon, if we can steal his uniform, so one of us can go in as the pilot that crashed their ship, and we can at least get one other person in.
There is that tracked vehicle that Katya saw over by the edge of that pit. It might still be workable.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. This could be fun.
We could bring in the whole fighter into the lander bay.
Probably not big enough for that. It's probably just a little 4 or 5 man tracked transport with a hauler.
And I see something in the chat from Alex. I'd say go ahead and jump in and bring that into dialogue.
Yeah, I was thinking how risky would it be to fake the pirate you are searching for in the radio, asking for ground forces, so that they came in a big transport and we ambush them and hijack their transport.
Interesting. You want to try and do that with rapport?
I'd like to try, but I'm asking everyone how risky.
Oh, I like the idea.
It will be.
Don't know, it's pretty risky.
I'd say it might depend on
Because
what we have available.
what is the excuse that we would have to ask for troops? Is it just a I mean, if it's just a mayday, if the fighter is down, they'll send 1 or 2 people.
What's the rank on the pilot that we have captured?
These are pirates. I think there's not real rank on this.
Does he have any like flashiness to his uniform or anything? That
Oh,
makes
he's
him stand out?
a pirate, space pirate pilot. Of course, it's got some flash to it.
There's a captain and everybody else.
If we had his name, we might be able to do something, but
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you can get that off. I mean, you've already searched him. You can get ID.
I mean, we can make a good go at it. It just depends on how well they like this guy.
I don't like giving up the elements of surprise. Right now, they don't know we're here.
Yeah,
Just
that's
my
good.
opinion. I think we should divide some of us going for the hostages, other ones going to secure transport for them.
So it sounds like you all are looking at moving more straight line towards the base, approaching that way.
Yeah, I think that Caden personally, he'll want to be part of whatever kind of B team that we have that's gonna sneak their way in. Some particular skill in that area. So yeah, if we can set up some sort of diversion, and then I can make it and try to get to the cells without getting noticed. Might
I'd
be
like
wise.
to try to rig up a litter for this pirate to make sure we're just not leaving him there.
Okay. Let's have you roll tech.
All righty, and my tech is 3. All right, that's a little bit better than last time. That gets me to a +2.
Okay, so you can definitely get something that you can bring him along with you. Though it does require one of you to be dedicated to bringing him along.
I'll be dragging him. I mean, I'm a pilot. You know, I'm not really geared for ground combat.
It's not anyone's specialty here.
Using fate points, can I use a fate point to establish something before we head in?
Sure. What kind of thing? Here, let's see.
I'm gonna like right before we're about to take off, he goes, "Oh, wait, 1 second," and he runs back to his fighter plane and he rummages around inside. He's like, "I never thought I'd actually have to use this," and he pulls out Betsy, his survival grenade. He's got one.
Okay. Yeah. Let's spend that fate point, and you've got a single grenade.
Yes.
All right. Who's going to try and secure transport, and who's going to go after the hostages?
I'm probably best on transport.
I think so. We need technology. You may have to.
Hotwire it.
I may have to hotwire it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
called dibs on
decent-
hostages.
I'm a decent shot, so I could escort you, Elsie.
And I'm pretty good at hot wiring things. So maybe I'll be on the transport too.
So Elsie, Zeus, and Alex securing the transport, and Caden and Katya going in to get the hostages.
Yes.
I do love, like, it really ends up just seeming like Caden and Katya are not perfectly cut out for this mission because we're the two least empathetic people, and we have to convince a group of people to make it back over to the ship.
I'll get them to move.
So here's the thing. Do you want to just approach the landing bay? Do you want to move around and surveil the area? Like, what do you think is the operational code here for you?
Yeah, I think that Caden wants to come up with an ideal course of entry. Whether that's setting up an advantage for folks through a notice roll or a tactics roll or an investigate. This kind of puts me in my element.
Let's have you roll notice here.
Okay. So it's a 3 total.
So I think you're as you move on, and you're kind of you know that the pirates are setting bombs. So the 5 of you are moving at a fairly quick pace. Elsie is bringing the pilot along. None of you are great at stealth. Just pointing that out.
I'm actually pretty decent at it because I have gear to support it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you have a personal screen. You are the only person who is right now cut out for this. I think you will see you've got that landing bay, big cavernous chamber. You can see, the light coming out of that. You have to move over there to kind of get a better view in it. But you will also see a little bit concealed, maybe 200 meters away from the bay door. It does look like there is another entryway, like maybe into the main mining part of this. So you'd get a choice of a couple of different approaches to this.
We go in the back door then?
Yeah, I'm wondering at some point we're gonna have to split up, but
right now, pretty much.
we can keep low profile for as long as we can.
They're not expecting us, and they're busy doing things. If we're lucky, they won't even be looking. We'll have to move quickly, and initiative sometimes makes up for a great many things.
So I'm hearing Caden and Katya heading for the back door, and Alex, Zeus, and Elsie making their way to the landing bay and checking that out. Does that seem right?
Yep.
Oh, all right. So we will swap back and forth between the teams here. And let's start with landing bay team. There's nobody externally like looking around for people. There are no pirates on watchtowers or anything like that. So I think the 3 of you are able to easily make your way over to the edge of the landing bay and take a look inside. And it's a big cavernous chamber. it isn't that filled because this is just being used by the pirates. You will see that there are the two goblins, those ships that came down, landed here, are set. One of them has some damage from the hits on you. You can see that they're parked there. There's some cargo containers. Looks like there's some other broken down machinery around. But the one thing you will see is that there is a cargo shuttle there, nice sized, decent cargo shuttle, made to fly casual, no weapons on it, anything like that. And you'll see that there are about a half dozen techs working and getting things ready, like in that way, that they're clearly in a hurry, like the countdown is ticking for them. So, Alex, what do you want to do? Let's start with you.
Does the transport ship has any sort of communication devices? So that
Oh
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
hear,
probably, most definitely.
what the pirates are doing? Maybe get a hint if they are after Brandon or after Katya or after Caden.
Oh, so like try to hack to get into the security relays to
Yeah.
pick up what their communication is. Okay. Then let's have you make a roll for that. Do you want to call that investigate? Do you want to use tech? What do you feel like that is?
I think it's tech,
Okay.
but I don't know if I have a 0 on tech, but I feel like I spent here at least a couple of days with the communications tower. So maybe I have some sort of.
You've got an advantage that you've already built with the comm gear that you have. So yeah, let's have you roll.
That's 0.
Okay. Even with so you're at a 0. Now you could
spend the advantage, right?
Brandon, let me take care of rules one
Sure.
person at a time. Okay. So you have a couple of choices here, Alex. You could tag the aspect that you've already established, the communication gear, to give yourself +2. Alternately, you could always spend a fate point to invoke one of your aspects. So do you want to spend that to
I think the advantage, the communication gear that was established. So that will be a +2 total.
Yeah. So what that means is you've still got the communication gear. You don't have a free use of it, but you can spend fate points to use it. And now we've got another aspect of, what do you want to call that?
Pirate radio.
Okay. Nice. And that has a free invoke on it. So you've got patched into their communications. Elsie, what are you doing?
Well, in real life, I'm still kind of laughing about pirate radio. That's great.
Nice.
I'm trying to figure out a way in the short term. I'm trying to figure out a way to get those techs away from the ship so that we can board it and we can get anything we need on there or off of it. In the longer term, I'm looking at them and thinking, I don't want any of these people to die. They've set this base to blow up. I mean, it would be their own fault, but still, if I can save them, I'd prefer to do so.
These pirates who took these hostages, absolutely.
I mean, at the very least, they can be brought back. They can face justice and they can have to do some sort of community service or penance of some sort. But the short term, I want them away from that ship.
Okay. What do you want to do that?
Well, since we already have that comms, even if it takes a fate point to use it now, and there's no free invokes, not sure if this would be creating an advantage or an attack, but I basically want to hack their comms in such a way that at least those techs can't use them and probably have to go find new ones. Like it seems like those headsets have broken. You know, some sort of squelching or distortion or
Okay.
feedback.
That's interesting. Yeah. Let's have you roll overcome with with tech for that.
All right. And so that is +2.
So I think that as it stands right now, that squelch will go over their headsets, and they wince and check that, and 2 of the 6 will peel off and kind of jog over out of the hangar over to whatever kind of like storeroom might have this. They're moving pretty quickly because they're clearly like terrified about the fact that bombs are being set elsewhere.
Yeah. Can I spend a fate point to bump that up?
Yeah, spend a fate point and I'll move another one. Split them 50-50. 3 gone, 3 here. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I'll pass on the fate point then. I was going to see if I could just like make all their headsets blow up.
I don't think you blow up their headsets, but
Yeah.
you peel off a couple of them. It certainly creates a noise and interference. Zeus, what do you want to do?
Okay, so see what's happening, and I quickly check over myself. I'm ripping all of my insignia off and anything that would identify me as a pilot. Maybe taking a survival poncho and putting it on me, and roughing myself up basically. And I turn to Elsie and I say, Rook, and I say, I've got this. And then I just walk straight over to the pirate techs and stuff like that. And like not missing a beat, I just start guiding them on how to repair the boat. Like I'm supposed to be there.
This seems like a crazy plan with a high difficulty. So let's I think that's definitely rapport.
Yep.
Okay. Difficulty is a 6.
Okay. Let's see here. I've got a 5, so I will. Can I tap my own squad scrounger event to? I know how to talk to tech people. That's who I hang out with all the time and stuff like that.
Spend a fate point. And I think that this is going to hold them for just a few moments. This is not a permanent solution, but it is these 4 are kind of like, wait, what's going on? Trying to a couple of them go along and a couple are like, what's happening here?
Jones sent me over to fix this. We need to get this going now. Come on, move it.
So we've got some confusion there amongst the 4. We've got the other 2 having headed out. We'll come back to this team in a moment. Caden, Katya, you will get to this back door. It is because it's an external door. This is actually one that has a lock on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a stab at trying to hack this, and I imagine it'll take a little bit of time. So I think I might catch up with Katya while I'm working on this.
Okay, let's have you roll your technology roll.
Okay.
Difficulty is a 4.
Okay. Let's see here. So I added 1. That gets me to a 3. I'll go ahead and spend. Gosh, I don't have a lot of fate points, but I'll spend another one.
Okay.
And invoke, I will bring my squad back alive because I'm taking personal responsibility for these hostages at this point.
Pop that lock. Katya, you see this open. It opens into a entryway. You can see that there are a couple of utility vehicles here. You can see that there is a hallway going into the main body of the base, but you also see that there is a larger freight elevator here, clearly going down to the next level down. What do you
They
do?
were keeping hostages. They kept them in the basement.
Agreed.
What do you think?
Well, I think that it's a good thing we have these transport vehicles here once we get them out, but we want to get down there as quietly as possible. What do you think? Should we take the elevator itself, or do you want to scale our way down?
What does the shaft look like? Can we tell?
Or elevator tube. It looks like you've got a general mine shaft elevator that goes down. Real basic open plan. You can also see that there is a wider tunnel. They've got an Archimedes screw that runs down for a mine shaft that connects up top to some machinery up here.
Yeah, to bring up the ore.
Yeah, you got a couple of ways to go down. Either use, following the path of that screw, that'd be an athletics roll, clamber down the shaft, be athletics as well, or just use the elevator.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of the elevator taking us down, though we also at the same time we have to get a lot of people out. The elevator is currently at our level, or is it currently down?
It is currently. Let's roll I'm gonna roll a die here. It is at the lower level right now.
Okay, then I think we should rappel down. The elevator's already where we need it to get these people out as quickly as we can. Do you agree?
If you are up to it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that kind of workout in a while. Could be fun.
I think the question is less a question of athletics and more a question of sneaking, so as to not draw the attention of the pirates who are on base. So, Caden, do you want to lead this sneaking action?
I would like to. So I have a
Okay.
+1 and I have a maximize on a die.
Okay.
So that comes out to a +2 in total.
+2. So yeah, I think that. What does that screen look like? Like what do we see on screen as the two of you get ready to go down in the elevator shaft and you pull this concealment screen out?
So it's a light diffuser. It's kind of it just makes us a little bit on that hazy side where your attention gets drawn elsewhere. It's just like it, for whatever reason, the way that light hits us is just a bit of a strain on the eye, and it's easier to look away.
Absolutely. You will clamber down that light diffusing. You'll get to this next level that seems to be bigger chamber with ore distribution. You can see there's some front end robotic loaders here. There are people moving around. Looks like there's at least a handful of pirates over there, maybe more. You hear the sounds of people, objecting. So it sounds like there's some hostages over there. But you'll also hear, as the shaft goes further down into the main mine shaft, and you'll hear voices coming from down there. So it looks like they've got the hostages split into at least 2 groups. Let's take our first break here. We'll come back to the loading bay and see what's going on. So our first break is 10 minutes. We'll come back at 10 after. All right. So we cut back to that landing bay. I assume that Alex and Elsie have kind of moved forward. Zeus has strode out, walked out, and kind of confusedly got the attention of these 4 tech. There are 2 other techs that have left. Alex, what do you want to do?
Do I hear when Ezekiel is telling them that he giving instructions and that to the parrots?
Yeah, I think that you can hear that he's clearly trying to confuse them with being a tech person and giving them kind of contradictory directions and so on. What do you want to do?
I think I want to come like behind him with some part, some engine part or something, like to ask him a question and to try to complete the sale of his ruse.
Okay, to see if you can extend this thing before they get wise. Let's have you roll rapport.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a 5.
Okay, yeah, I think that they are like confused, uncertain what's going on. You have a window of opportunity. Eventually, something has to be done. They're not gonna be here forever. But there's definitely this holding pattern. Elsie, what do you want to do?
How are they doing on pre-flight stuff like fueling, checking systems, that sort of thing?
They're pretty close to being done.
All right.
Like it could take off now if it
So-
had to.
In that case, I'm going to walk right into the transport and settle myself into the pilot seat.
Let's have you roll. I think let's see. I think this is still sneak. But I think the difficulty is lowered significantly by the work that those 2 have done. Does that seem fair?
That seems fair. I also didn't take my level up.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and change that sneak, promote it to a 1. And then you said we could change a 0 to a 1 and a 1 to a 2, correct?
That is correct.
And I'm assuming that it would have to be the 1 to a 2 could not be the same stat.
That is correct.
Okay. So in that case, I'll just save that 0 to 1 and 1 to 2. So there's
Alternately, if you want to take another 0 up to 1, that's also fair. And instead
Okay.
of the 1 to a 2.
I'll save that 1 to a 2.
Okay.
Okay, so rolling +1. What the heck?
Oh yeah. They have the attention of these people. And the tech there are not even aware that anyone else was ever in the loading bay. You've gone up, you're in the pilot seat, you check the controls, you start doing the pre-flight sequence, all of that jazz. Zeus, you've got a clock here.
Yeah. Well, basically, I'm extending it as long as possible until they finally start questioning me just too much, which is that going to happen like right now? Or
you're going to need to do something.
okay. Yeah. Well, somebody asks me again, like, who sent you? And I just say, I told you, Jones sent me. Davy Jones. Pop my personal deflector field and knock the guy out.
Okay. Let's have you roll fight.
All right. -1, so that's a 1.
It is a 1. Well, they've got this first guy You turn and you will punch him in the face, and you'll drop the tech. Like he poof, and he hits the ground. The other three are like, what the hell? I think that they are still surprised. So I'm going to let you all get one more action before they activate, given how distracted they were. Alex, you see that Zeus drops one of these four.
I just, as soon as he punches, I want to pull my gun
Okay.
and just freeze. Everyone freeze. And I think I'll ask them to get next to a wall facing, giving us their back.
Let's have you roll provoke.
Provoke. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 0.
That a 0 total.
Yep.
Now, you could spend a fate point and invoke one of your aspects to re-roll. Or if you want to use your pirate radio to come over their comms, you could spend a free invoke that's on that to re-roll.
That sounds interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So re-roll all the dice.
That's 6, 5.
So like they drop their gear, they drop what they're carrying, and they turn to face against the wall, and they're like, we need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. This place is going to blow. But they frog march over towards the wall to get themselves. Elsie, you'll see those other two tacks have grabbed the spare headsets and are coming back this way. What do you want to do?
Zeus, Rook, you've got 2 inbound. Now I'm wondering.
Yeah.
The ship's ready for takeoff, right?
It is.
Is there any way I could let loose some kind of small concussive blast from the engines that might disorient or stun these 2 techs that are coming back?
I love that idea. I think that's a tech roll for that.
Okay. Tech is +3. There's +4.
So the other 2 are coming back. You see, and I think the camera comes in and they see a person with a gun on the other 3 techs, and they start to say something, and then there's that woof as the reactive drive kicks on, and the backwash just throws them against a wall. They hit that, and they just crumple, drop to the ground unconscious.
Folks, if you
Katya,
could get them in the car and the transport, I would appreciate it.
Katya, Caden, what are you doing?
I think we'd better go down before we tackle this level.
I agree with that.
Let's I think let's ride the elevator down from the top. Maybe lie flat. So
Yeah,
if
so
we
we're
see
at
elevator
the-
come-
I guess any clarification from Lowell where the elevator is in.
So right now, the elevator is sitting here on the level you've just climbed down to. There is essentially the ore storage distribution chamber, and then it's very clear that this then goes down to like the start of the mine shaft down below.
Yeah.
So you could ride that down.
I'll toss this out to you, Katya. Do you want us to split up so that as you're riding the shaft back up, loaded up with hostages that we're rescuing, we can get the rest of the folks on?
We've got to stay together if there's likely to be more than one of them down there.
All right, roger that. Let's get going. Is this gonna be another sneak to be able to, I mean, I don't even know if we'll be able to really effectively.
Or can we just try to create an advantage to
Yeah,
Surprise.
I like that. If we want to use a sneak to create essentially a concealment advantage there, Caden, you can do that.
Sure. Okay. Got the same roll, same roll on same dice. So we said that we would re-roll. when
Always
that
reroll
happens.
on that. Yep.
So I've got a
Okay,
+2.
so that's a 3 total.
Okay, what do you want to call that?
I know we've done death from above before, but I
They
think
never
it
saw
fits.
it coming. Okay, that's good too.
What'd you say?
It's death from above
Okay.
again. You got it.
So going down into this mining area, cramped, dimly lit. The elevator comes down. You two are like, you're hidden away, Caden. Katya, you've pushed yourself off to the side. It comes down, and those gates open, and there are two pirate guys standing there, getting ready to get onto this elevator. Clearly have finished up what they were doing down here. What do you do, Katya?
I flick my slapjack into one hand and pop one of them.
Okay, so that is fight.
So my fight, that's a 2.
2. So that will hit them. I want you to imagine, what does that actually look like? This weapon that you're using, what is it?
It looks like it looks like a steel rod about 8 inches long that was up the strap to one forearm. Except when you swing it, it telescopes to almost 4 feet.
Okay.
And the end hits with staggering force.
You hit this guy, and he crumples lifeless to the ground. The other guy kind of takes a step back. You see him going for his pistol. What do you do, Caden?
I drop down. I do a disarm of
Okay.
his pistol. So as he grabbing onto his elbow, pulling out, hitting his wrist so that he's forced to drop it.
It's fight.
Okay, and because I am like water, I can use discipline rather than fight when engaged in a one-on-one skirmish.
Nice.
Okay, so that is a 4.
That is a 4. I just have a 3, and it was actually with a really good pull for him. But he only has 1 shift of stress. So you will hit this guy, hit his arm, disarm him, and then a second thing will knock him down and take him out. And I think you all are far enough away from upstairs that none of the noise of this carries. You will look down the shaft a couple of directions. You see there's lots of sort of sub like tunnels and things, but down one way from where you're hearing a noise, as the two of you kind of move along there, you will see that there is the main boring shaft this connects up to here. And you'll see that there are 5 people, clearly exhausted, worn, tired. They are space zip tied by what looks like a massive explosive charge.
Ooh, sounds like we might want to try to disarm that.
I'm going to cut them loose. You can look at it.
Okay, yeah, get them loose. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this disarmed safely, but I'll try to at least be careful.
That's a good least, yes. So
Everyone-
Katya, just what
yes.
are you doing? What are you telling them? What are you saying here?
I'm saying hold very still. We're going to get you loose of this and out of here. But only if you're very quiet.
Let's have you roll Are we doing this with rapport to try and be positive about this, or are you
No,
trying
this
to?
is provoke.
Okay, let's have you roll provoke.
I'm trying to spook them into obedience.
You want to terrify them that they need to do this,
Well,
or
this is a military thing. It's
Yeah, yeah.
like just you be quiet, follow instructions. You will get out of here.
okay,
That's a 2.
it's a 2. I think you get them pretty quiet. But you don't know. I mean, this is going to be tough if you get a bigger group of these people. You know that now, because these are people that were on like a standard transport thing. But you've got them quieted down. You've got them freed. You've got them moved. They'll pick up whatever tools they can, just to like have something to hold, like they could defend themselves. Caden.
Okay, I want to start to look at this bomb. I have a plan if I can't make heads or tails of it. So let's see what happens at the first glance. So
Sure. Let's have you roll tech to assess this bomb.
okay, that's not bad. I got a 4.
So I think you can see that this is one explosive charge. It's not big enough to take this place down. There are probably others throughout the facility. And I think you've got an advantage of like red wire, blue wire. You've got, okay, it's like, it should be pretty easy to do this, to bypass this, to shut it down. Do I want to try and disarm it, or do I want to just leave it? You feel pretty good about your odds.
I feel pretty good about my odds. And it'll be really entertaining if this doesn't go well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll push the red button.
Yeah, because here's the thing is I think that not doing this isn't going to look great for you.
No,
Yeah,
not at
so,
all.
not
It's
at
pretty
all.
important that I've got to do it.
So yeah, I will definitely give you the fate point right now for doing what is a grossly stupid thing.
Okay, excellent. Oh, I love fate points.
What are you doing?
So let's have you roll tech to disarm this bomb.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 0. But there's a free invoke in there.
Yeah, so spend that. You could either
Okay, so I'll spend
re-roll
the
or give yourself a
free-
+2.
Yeah, at a -2 on the dice, I'm gonna do a re-roll.
Okay.
Different dice, but also a -2.
All right. So you're still at a 0.
Okay. I'm committed to bringing everybody back alive. So I'll
Okay.
spend another fate point. No, we'll re-roll again.
Okay.
And I think if
You're
this doesn't go well,
you're starting to sweat.
Yeah.
I can tell.
if this doesn't go well, I want it to not go well.
Fair enough.
So it's 0 on the dice. It's a 2 on tech. How bad is it? Let
You
it be
said-
bad. If it feels like it should be bad, let it
Oh
be
yeah,
bad.
you set the timer.
Yeah.
You see it click on, hear it power up, and you see the 5-minute counter start counting down.
Well, I have good news and bad news, Katya. The good news is the bomb hasn't gone off yet. The bad news is I don't have time to cover the bad news. Get everybody on the shaft now.
All right, everyone. We're going now.
All right, let's come back up to the loading bay as they head up to the ore distribution. Rook, what are you doing? You have these guys secured. Let's say that's easy enough for you to do. Once you've got them secured, the unconscious techs are tied up. What's your next step?
I think after disarming them, I'm gonna head straight to the transport with Elsie.
Okay.
Begin scanning if Kaden and Katie are in trouble or something.
All right. Let's have you roll an investigate roll to kind of figure out what's going on.
3, 4. That's 0.
That is a 0. Are you happy with that?
I think I'm gonna spend a fate point.
What's the aspect do you think are you using to do this? The communication gear, the pirate radio, or something personal?
I think I like to be something personal.
Sure. What do you think? What do you think is pushing you to do better here?
The fact that I've been here for 2 straight days, and I simply
Absolutely.
it's not acceptable.
That feels like a good aspect you can add to your character of I've been here 2 days. I think is a good one. So are you more interested in finding out what's happening on this level with the other pirates and potential hostages, or are you more interested in finding out how things are going with Katya and Caden?
With other hostages.
So I think you'll hear the radio chatter coming from this level of another set of pirates finished up. We got 5 locked down here in the processing plant. We're moving back to the transport. Can you give us a Roger? Can you give us a Roger? I'm not giving a text. They had something going on with their headsets. And so you can tell that there's another room on this level where there are a handful of hostages, but there are also some pirates that are heading back this way to the loading bay. Does that seem like fair info?
That seems very fair, yes.
Okay. Elsie, assuming that you've gotten the word on that, what do you want to do?
Drag every single person into the transport. I don't care if they're pirates. I don't care if they're hostages. Get them in here. We're not leaving anyone behind to die that we can possibly save. And is there anything that I can do with ship security systems to maybe close doors or slow down the pirates on this level?
That's worth a try. That feels like a overcome with tech.
Okay.
I've got a 3.
And that gets me to I've got a tie, I think.
Okay.
Because I've got a +3 on tech and 2 minuses on the die and a plus. So,
So right now the situation won't change, but you will get a bonus going forward unless you want to invoke an aspect or spend a fate point.
oh, I feel like this is time to spend a fate point.
Okay. What are you invoking here?
I think Katya is a role model
Okay.
because, I mean, granted, Katya is not much of one for tech, but still, this is something that I think might earn Katya's approval if she were here to see it.
So I think you can lock the pirates down to keep them from coming this way. You're not aware yet that the timer has the clock is much tighter than you thought it was. But you have got them so that they're not going to immediately be able to get up to where you are at. Ezekiel, what do you want to do?
Okay, so let me see if I can understand the situation. When Rook got on the radio, was that to Katya and Caden, or was that just to find other people on this level?
Katya, sorry, Alex, I believe we established it was just the people on this level, right?
Yeah, I was looking for Katya and Caden, but I found out about this level.
So that means there's
So the
more
current
hostages?
situation is on this level. There's a group of hostages tied up somewhere, but you have the info from what Alex has drawn. And there are a group of pirates that were heading this way kind of directly, but have kind of been locked down from getting to here.
Okay, so those hostages are not being saved at this point.
That is correct.
Okay. hold for as long as you can, butterfly. And I jump up and I start dashing to the location where I think they'd be on this level.
Okay, that feels like athletics to me.
Yep. Let's see here. Okay. And that's a flat roll, so that'll be a 1.
That is a 1. So I think that the timer is ticking down. Are you happy with that 1 roll?
If I spend a fate point, because I can't let Caden, be the hero of this journey, it has to be me.
Mhm.
Would getting it to a 3 get how much better would that be?
I think we would see you get to where they're at and be able to get them free. Though now those other pirates may be coming this way. Does that seem fair?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So you got them cut, got their lines cut. They're kind of freaking out. You're rushing them down the halls, moving them along, trying to get them back. Alex, you see that Zeus has gotten the 5 hostages on this level and is rushing them to the transport. But you can also see that there are some pirates coming. What do you want to do, Alex?
I know Zeus is going to find them straight on, so I think I'm gonna ask Kelsey just to go around to as kind of a distraction, so Zeus can go behind the pirates that are coming in this way instead of going straight into them.
Sure. Do you want to? Does that feel like athletics or sneak? What do you feel like there?
Athletics. I
Okay.
think
Let's have you make an athletics roll.
that's cuatro. That's 2.
Okay. So you pop out. You draw off. Those pirates and the hostages, no problem, are going to get up to the transport. But you got a couple of pirates that have spotted you and are kind of pursuing you now to try to get a shot at you as you're moving along. They're realizing something's going on. Elsie.
Just hit them with another concussive blast from the engines, or are they too far away for that?
I think that they're a little too far away right now because they're kind of chasing outside of this flight deck.
Outside, or are they just like in a more compressed area of the space?
They're in the hallways of the building.
Gotcha. How much damage would flying through a building cause to the transport? Or would it?
I think that given that it's a facility built for ore manufacture and mining, that it's pretty hardy, that you could do it, but you really risk doing some serious damage to the place and to the vessel.
Okay. In that case, is there anything that I can do to shorten the pathway between hostages and the transport? Like, can I get closer to them somehow? So, I'm thinking about the scene when Bishop flies in with the transport and aliens.
Oh, okay.
So is there anything like that I can do with piloting where?
Yeah, you want to get it piloting and move yourself over to like the entryway, the interior entryway doors for the thing, so that people are just going to run right up into it and you're already kind of off the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is a daring pilot roll.
And that is +5 and 2 minus, so +3.
So yeah, I think we see you kind of lift up and back this thing up, probably knocking over various ore things, but get yourself backed up to that. Drop the loading plank, and the people that Zeus had moved along and Alex have kind of pushed are moving up into the vessel. Let's come back to Caden and Katya. You hit that up that elevator. There you can still go up
Katya,
to.
get the script. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
So let me tell you what the situation is, and then I'll ask you what you're doing. So right now, the elevator has gone up here to got at this level with the ore distribution room. You know, there's some hostages down that way, maybe some pirates, definitely some explosives. You've got these 5 hostages with you. So the question is how you want to divide up your attention, get these people up out of the elevator, go down and get the rest of the people out of the distribution area. What do you think?
Katya, why don't you get these folks up to the surface and over to the transports and just send the elevator back down to my level. I'll get them out fine.
Yes, how are you going to do that?
I'll handle it. But we have limited amount of time. These folks need to get out of here.
Yes, they all need to get out of here. I'm going with you. Look, you, I say to the most intelligent looking of them.
What?
Okay. I whack the elevator's emergency stop button so it doesn't move.
All right.
It's like anyone tries to get in an elevator that's not us or not one of you, hit them with everything you've got. We'll be right back.
So they're freaking out. They are in that. Let's have you roll provoke to keep them from activating the elevator and leaving without you.
I'm going to try and can I use my stunt?
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Yeah, let's do that.
That's a 4.
Yeah, I think they're pretty terrified of you. And they are not going to leave without you.
If you leave without us, I will kill you.
Caden, how are you want to lead this? I mean, you know, there's a fairly good group of hostages down there. It's dimly lit. The pirates getting explosives together. The other set of things. What do you want to do?
I think we just need to move in fast.
Yes,
hit them hard.
Let's go.
Okay. So just kind of go in and rush them.
And what I picture with Caden, I'm firing off like just suppressive fire, like not really trying to hit anybody, but trying to provoke response. And then because I've got another fun ability that lets me do it, I'm going to be dodging bullets to try to close in the distance so I can hit them in melee.
So you are shooting to create an advantage right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have you roll your shoot roll.
Okay. I'm not particularly good with it, but you know, it's a dramatic conclusion. Almost. So that's a 1. That's a 0.
That is 0.
Let me spend my last fate point.
Please
using
do.
my decompression of hitting randos faces at the bar.
Okay.
So I'm jacked up on adrenaline.
Sure.
To get that up to a 2.
So you're going to have suppression fire with a free invoke on it. And I'm going to misspell suppression, but I don't care at this point. So you come out, there are about 7 pirates that are kind of moving, getting things into position. You come in to surprise them. Again, in the area, some robot front loaders, the piles of ore, and you can see that there are 20 hostages here. More than will fit in the elevator. So that suppression fire goes off. I think that with your success, they're not going to immediately return fire. They kind of scatter in different directions when suddenly gunfire breaks out because it's not particularly well lit in here. But they are now shouting at each other as like the sparks of shots and dust and haze are up. Katya, what are you doing?
The hostages are tied.
Yeah, there are about 20 of them tied to the main area in this ore distribution.
If there are handy pirates, I will put them down. Otherwise, I'm freeing the hostages.
Okay, well then
Because we want more numbers than we have.
there are 7 pirates in here. It's your choice whether you want to start dimming those numbers or what you want to try and make your way across to get to the hostages without getting shot.
I will start by cutting those numbers down.
Okay, let's have you roll shoot.
I'd like to do it hand to hand if I can get close enough.
Okay, I think that gives them a little bit of advantage, but yeah, let's do that.
That is a 1.
Mhm.
I'm going to tag heavy training
Okay,
with a fate point to make it a 3.
okay. Oh yeah, and that shot,
And
you'll move across.
Slapjack does extra damage.
You will move across the grounds and catch the closest one and drop him. 6 left. Caden, suppression fire is going on. There's 6 of these pirates here. You can see that 3 of them are kind of moving to try and get position on the attackers. The other 3 are moving towards the hostages.
Okay, I want to cut off the ones that are going to the hostages.
Okay.
I was gonna
that-
say if I can get close enough that I can take one of their guns and shoot another one with it, I will do that. But that could be tricky.
Well, I think with if you want to use your suppression fire invoke, I think you can keep them from getting to the hostages by spending that, and then if you want to take an action, you can do that.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. So that still feels like shoot though.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's have you make a shoot roll.
Okay. Ooh. And nothing more to invoke. That is a -2.
All right. So, would you like to take out one of these guys?
What'll it cost me?
It'll cost you stress.
Oh, I'll take stress.
Okay. Then mark 3 stress as you drop one of these guys.
Okay.
What does that look like? How do you get hit there?
I think I just have a blind spot. Like I'm tracking, counting, watching movements, and one of the pirates that was not going after the hostages and has noticed me sneak by just like gets me right in the back.
So you still you get hit, you drop one of them, and you cut the others from going out after the hostages. So you've kind of got now just 2 with you, but you've been wounded. Katya, these other 3 are going to move and take their action to essentially take shots at you. To make it simple, I'll run them as a gang to load up on their things. So you can defend with athletics if you would like. So that'll be 1, 2, plus another 2. I've got a 5.
Let's see. My basic roll is a 0.
So you can take 5 shifts of stress. You could also take a consequence to eat some of that stress.
And what consequences to?
So consequences are an aspect I can invoke for free once against you, once you've got them on there.
Gotcha.
Like a moderate one could absorb four of that stress.
We haven't used the invoke of death from above, so I will take one of those and take 3 stress.
Okay. So tags you, kind of hits you with that. Caden, I'm going to come back to you. Got these 2 people to deal with, and I'm going to come to Katya again, and then I'm going to come back to the loading bay.
Okay, I'm gonna appeal to their survival instincts. I'm gonna say, hey, look, this place is gonna blow. We need to get as many people out of here as we can. I'm conscripting you. Release these people.
Let's have you roll provoke. I think this is very difficult. These two
Oh
pirates
gosh, it sure is.
that have guns on you.
Is it a 2 difficulty difficult by any chance?
I don't think it's that. What do you got?
I have a 2.
I tell you what, they are not going to lay down their arms, but they are going to fall back towards the elevator, giving you kind of clear passage towards the hostages and the other explosive that's in here. Does that seem fair?
That's fair enough.
Does that feel like
I've really blown stuff up great, but
a
fun.
mixed success? Katya, you've got this gang of 3 that are still firing on you.
I will. I'm going to put. I'd like to try to create an advantage.
Okay.
By frightening them.
All right.
And I'm saying, can't you get the wax out of your ears, you fuckers. The bomb's timer is armed and it's going to blow. You want to die here?
Roll provoke.
Five.
Okay, so I think you've got 2 invokes on that advantage.
And then I'll clock one of them.
Well, that's your action, is to
That's
do
my
the
action,
create
okay, that's
advantage. So they are going to now, if you want to invoke one of those, essentially I will kind of have their fire on you if you want.
Yes.
Okay. So they are going to take shots on you, but you potentially disrupted, so they can't do that big gang up thing. So I've got a 2 for my shots also on you. So they're going to have a boost on you on the next round. Let's come back to the hangar bay. Zeus.
Okay. So we're on the transport.
Yeah, you've got these 5 on the transport.
Okay. I'm going over to the computer station in the back of the transport, and I'm trying to pull up plans for this base to see if I can find a place for Elsie to put down to get us closer to where Caden and Katya will come out of.
Okay, let's have you roll investigate.
Oh, it's here. It's a -2. That makes it a 0.
Do you want to spend a fate point?
Oh, I don't have any fate points left.
Let's see. And I don't think we necessarily have to. I think that yes, there is, like, you getting closer to that other set of doors, but it's going to be rough right now to do that. Like getting that into the area, getting out of here. There are automated guns around, so it's going to be a tough thing to do.
Okay. Well, at least relay that information to Butterfly and tell everybody to hold on. I guess it's going to get a little rough in here.
Butterfly.
Sorry about that. I was trying to get back to the tab.
Sure.
So what are my options?
You can hang on, wait, try to do any kind of tech things to assist the rest of the team, or you can move, try and make a difficult flight to move the ship closer so they won't have to come through the base to get to where you're at.
What the hell? Let's fly through the base.
Okay.
Let's get closer to them.
All right. Let's have you roll pilot.
All right. All right, and that comes out at a 4.
At 4. I think there's some scrapes, some bumps as you punch out from the bay, kind of swing around and like have to hover over the spot where the door is, and you're getting some fire from these automated guns that's frying some stuff around, but you are in okay shape.
Okay.
Alex, what are you doing? Are you on the transport? Are you running through the base to get to where Caden and Katya are? What do you think?
I think I'm running through the base.
Okay. What's your goal here? What are you trying to set up? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to look for anyone missing, any missing prisoners, just to head them towards where Caden and Katya are, and hopefully Elsie and Ezekiel figure out how to meet us there with the transport.
Let's have you make an athletics roll here to get down kind of to where they are.
Yeah, that's 1, but I wrote an aspect of my relationship with Zeus, that is, everything is coming up Zeus. Zeus is lucky, hopefully I can be when it counts.
So you want to spend a fate point to invoke that?
Yep.
Okay. So I think what we see is you have, we kind of roll back a little bit in time. You've gotten those 5 hostages out of the elevator and over to the doors for Elsie to pick them up. And I think we see you at the entryway to the ore distribution thing. You see Caden is bleeding, and he's over by the hostages and some explosives, and Katya is yelling at these 3 pirates who are taking shots at her. What do you want to do?
I think if they are focused on Katya, I'm going to try to disable them from the back.
Okay, roll shoot.
Shoot, that's 2 plus. That's a 0.
That is a 0. You are lucky because I have a -1 for their dodge on that. So you will pick off one of them. Essentially, one of them, catch them with the gun. They drop, slide down the ore mountain that they were standing on, taking shots at Katya. Katya, that gunfire comes out of nowhere. You see one of the pirates drop. There are 2 left, and you've still got the free invoke on your advantage.
Yes, I'm going to lay into them.
Okay. Do you want to spend your invoke to try and take both of them out at the same time?
I do.
Okay, then let's have you roll fight.
That is a 1.
Do you have any fate points left?
I do. And yeah, I have. I'll invoke. What is a good environmental invoke here? How about?
We've got dim lighting.
We
We've got
haven't
the
done-
robo loaders.
Have we done Deflin both?
That has not been used. No.
Okay, I'll use that one.
Okay. Then what does that look like when you drop these 2?
When I basically jumped down between them, and they both turned to face me. The slapjack lashes out and catches one of them on the knee, with a horrible crack. The other one fires over my head because I've crouched down, and I hit him. I hit him with the business end. Oh, actually, I kick his legs out from under him, and then put him down with the slapjack.
Caden, what are you doing to get these hostages out of here?
I think that I'm just trying to like level with them and say like, you know, I don't want you all to panic. They're still tied up, right?
Yeah.
Untie them.
Okay. Oh, you untied them already?
No,
Oh.
I'm yelling at you.
Okay. Yeah, I untie them.
Yeah.
Just like cutting their bonds because I should have some kind of knife on me. And I say, look, we don't have time to panic on this. We don't have time to stall on this. You need to get over to those elevators. I'm going to be covering your back. This place doesn't have long to last.
Let's have you roll provoke.
I would love to make an argument that I could roll discipline, but I guess that's actually just for my own discipline.
It
not
is
for-
personal discipline. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a -1 on the dice. That comes out to 0.
Would you like to spend the free invoke that's still sitting there from
I would
Katya's
love
sphere?
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you get them moving. It's as much the fear that Katya has put in the air, and Alex, Caden, Katya, you can move these people up over to the elevators. You're rushing them up. The lift is going up. You have to move them in a couple of batches. They're kind of panicked, but I think you can load them up onto the transport. Elsie, one of the people who was a prisoner, will run up and jump kind of in the co-pilot seat, because it's the pilot from the original ship, to back you up. And here's the thing. You guys start to move, and you will see that there are pirates in the air.
Well, this got festive.
So we're going to take 5, and we're going to cut to your team in your ships. You're going to have to punch out and essentially fly, escort, trying to get this transport out of here. Sound okay?
Mhm.
All right. Take 5, and we'll be back. This is how it's going to work. There are a couple of fighter screens, and there are the turrets from the base that are still there, that are those kinds of things that you can try to thin the screens to reduce their effectiveness. These are pirate ships that are coming down. Your transport ship is going up. It's going to go up a certain amount each turn. I'm going to pull for that. It needs to get to +9 to get out of here. The bad guys, the pirates, can only attack the transport if they're on the same level or on the level immediately above it. That's the sort of mechanical thing for them. So that's sort of how we're doing it, to kind of change up a little bit of how this plays. But otherwise, as per usual, you can attack anyone that is on your level or below your level. Most of these are the standard higher end goblins ships that you've seen before. The ones that are labeled 1, 2, and 3. However, the one with the gray background, you can see that it has a bunch of kill marks on the side of it. And the one in white is not a goblin, it is a Gorgon. You don't know where the pirates got this. This is one of the most dangerous, most heavily armed ships available to the Union. A very nasty, and you can see that it is equipped with missiles. All right. So the way we do this is we're going to start at +6, and that pilot is going to go. Who has the most kills marked on their ship? Is that you, Zeus?
I think so. I'm at like
We might-
eight so far.
I didn't actually keep track of how many kills I got last time.
Well,
I
mean,
have it-
Lifetime, it's probably caught, yeah.
we're,
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna
I
we're
have-
gonna
I-
give it to Zeus because Zeus tracked
Sure.
his kills. So
And also Zeus is at 3 shield damage already.
yeah, there's that too. Actually, your shields will be restored
Oh, thank goodness.
because shields recharge over time. So let's start with that. That is our Goblin Ace is going to fire on you, Zeus. I'm going to roll for this.
Is he taking a snapshot or a tail?
He is going to take a snapshot. So he has a +2, +5 is a 7 on you.
So I've got a 4.
Okay,
And how much damage would that be?
that'd be 3 points. Sorry, weapon 2, it'd be 5 points of damage.
Oof. And we have nothing on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna have to take it. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually are going to take that. So mark stress,
Mhm.
and then you've got 2 points that have to be dealt with, and it's just one hit. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll 1 fate die.
Okay. One fate die. It's gonna be the first one in the
Okay.
row, and that is a negative.
Okay, so that is critical system damage. You
Okay.
get to pick one of those effects there from the list, either life support damaged, cockpit hit, the pilot sustains damage equal to the amount of the ship sustained in the hit, or structural disintegration.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Can you do that one more time?
Yeah. Life support damage, meaning that you're not going to be able to go into space.
Okay.
Cockpit hit, which means you're going to take 5 shifts of damage, but you still have plenty of consequences left.
Okay.
Or your ship is blown up.
Okay. I'll take the cockpit hit.
So that shot from the ace will glance across, and the systems will blow inside your cockpit. Smoke is filling it. So you need to absorb 5 points worth of stress.
So that's 4 points, fills me up, and then I have 1 point left.
Yeah. Now you could just take a consequence. You still have a moderate and a severe consequence left. Moderate would eat up 4 points of that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I had one. So I used the moderate to eat up 4, and then I
Okay.
take 1 stress.
Yeah.
Okay, and then moderate. Oh, let's see here.
What do you think that is? It's pretty bad.
We'll say shrapnel from the systems blowing up in the system and like that, and I've got like blood coming down into my eyes and stuff like that. And it just
Perfect.
really messed up.
Okay.
Shrapnel.
Green ship is next.
Okay, that's me. And I can't snapshot back at him, can I? No.
You would have to get up above to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with a.
Now you could do a desperate attack if you have a fate point left.
No, I can't do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tactical refocus is step 2. So on step 1, I'm going to create an advantage with my tactics.
Okay. What do you want to call that?
I'm going to be calling that stalking horse because I'm the one that's getting shot and playing the stalking
Okay.
horse.
Let's have you roll.
Oh, there we go. That's an 8.
So 2 evokes as you start weaving your way through the fire and creating that advantage. You want to do your tactical refocus now?
Yep. And that's going to be a reroll on my tactics. That is going to be 1. So I'll be back at 5.
Okay. So you're at
you
5,
but I don't
you
go
won't
down.
drift.
Yeah.
okay. Let's go to red. Kaiden.
Okay.
Step 1.
So my first step on that is I'm going to create a tactical advantage. So I'm kind of buzzing through them, trying to draw fire. Really, I'm trying to pull any focus I can away from them, even noticing the transport ship is there.
Does that feel like a piloting?
Yeah,
Or
let's go
tactics?
piloting.
You have either one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with tactics then, because I'm better at tactics.
And what do you want to call it?
Drawing fire.
Drawing fire. Let's have you roll.
Okay, let's see, that's 2 on the dice plus, okay, so that's a 6 total.
Okay, 2 invokes on drawing fire. You guys have created some advantages already. What do you want to do for your step 2?
Then for my step 2, I'll do a tactical refocus.
Okay, let's have you roll tactics.
Okay. Oh, that's excellent. That's a 7.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself up to the 7 slot. And then purple.
All righty. It is time to have some fun.
Okay.
First thing I'd like to do is I want to try to split the pirates' ships.
Okay.
So I'm just going to fly straight at them to try to force their wing to split in 2.
Okay. So break formation kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. And this is
It is
with
creating
piloting.
create an advantage with pilot.
Okay. What's your total?
My total is looks like +3.
Okay. So you will get 2 invokes on break formation. That was step 1.
Is dimly lit piles of war and cramped still on there?
Nope. Those are
Okay.
from the previous environment.
All right. Let me just refresh then.
Yeah, sure.
All righty.
You could create advantage. You could thin the screens to eliminate their aspects.
That goblin or the Gorgon, you said.
The Gorgon that is, yeah, the in white.
Set them up for me.
Yeah. I'm going to play chicken with it.
Okay.
Yeah, push it.
You try and push it down.
Yep.
Okay. So to push it down, it's pilot versus pilot. So roll your piloting. I will roll his piloting. I've got a 3.
And that gives me a +5.
Okay. So push down. So he will drop by 2 levels there. Cut. Paste. All right. All right. So Alex, we come to you. You can attack anyone on your level or below. You could do a snapshot, which is you get to do one thing in sort of the first phase, and then you can do something else in the second phase. The other thing you can do is you can go on someone's tail if they're below you. It's a full action, but you get a +2 to your attack. Or you can do what other people have done and create some advantages to put on the table. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna go for 3.
Okay,
I'm gonna get in the tail of 3.
perfect. So I'll actually cut. I'll move him over right there. So yeah, you can make a attack. You roll with gunnery, and you roll with an additional +2 to the roll.
That's 2, and my gunnery is 1. That's 3, 4, 5.
5, and I've got a. So that will hit, and that will blow out the shields and do structural damage on that goblin. There, essentially, you see a section of it go off. Now you could, if you wanted to, you can invoke some of these advantages. It would take 2 more invokes to blow that ship up, one of the pair. We've got stalking core,
Uh,
strong fire, and break formation on the table.
I think break formation because that's what Elsie just did.
Okay, so that's one. And do you want to take another free invoke, or do you want to spend one of your own fate points?
I don't have any more fate points, so stacking hearts I think makes sense to me.
Perfect, because you've got Zeus running in there. You like Zeus, and he is going through. So that shot will rock across that, and one of the pair of fighters in that grouping will go up, and you can mark a kill. Next is the goblin on 2. He is going to take a snapshot at purple. And so that is 6. I'll use the base turret. That's 2, 4. I've got an 8 on purple.
All right, so pilot to evade, correct?
Yep.
Oof. I will spend a fate point to re-roll.
Oh, what are you invoking?
Again, Koch is a role model.
Oh,
That's not much.
I mean, that is just absolutely unacceptable flying.
yeah.
With Katya even paying any kind of attention. So that at least gets me to a +4.
Okay, so you've got 4 points of damage to absorb right now.
All righty. You know what? I'll tag break formation,
Okay,
and then
2 points.
what have I got on my shields? 2?
You got 3, I believe, on your shields.
Okay, because I'm actually going to do something unusual this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and take a hit.
Okay, mark a stress and take 2 damage on your shields.
Really quick though.
Yeah.
With the inertial suppression unit, it allows me to max a die on defense, correct?
Yeah, so you can always turn like a minus to a plus. Yeah.
Okay. So if that gets me to +5,
Mm-hmm.
invoking it gets me to +7. So there's only 1 damage to drop.
You'll take one damage to the shield, and you mark 1 stress.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take a hit on the shield.
Okay.
And I will take a stress.
Awesome. And then the second action is he is going to drop down. Where's cut? Paste. He is already gone, but he drops down. Ship 3 is going to take shots on a blue ship.
It's me.
So this is gunnery versus pilot. That is a 2. I'll invoke one of the fighter screens to take that to a 4.
Also a 4.
Okay. So they've got a boost against you potentially on the next round. And then let's see, fighter 1 will go after you go, but it'll be resolved, be effectively simultaneous. So you may go, Katya.
Gorgon heavily armored as well.
The Gorgon
just-
is pretty
or just
nasty,
one?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Well then, I'm going to spin and get on the 6.
Okay, getting on his tail.
Custom cut paste work, which I
Sure.
which I can't. Get in there, line them up, and hold the trigger down.
Okay. Gunnery versus pilot.
Okay, that is 4, 5, 7 to start with.
Okay. I've got that. Let's see, and I'll invoke one of the base turrets, so 2. So I've got a 4 right now. What you got?
I have a 7 plus plus 1 for the guns.
Okay, so that will pop the shields, and the other 2 will hit against the
And
the
I will
Gorgons.
invoke as many advantages as necessary to smoke him.
That would take 5 invokes.
5 invokes. So screw it. I will take 1 each of the 3 invokes.
There are
Of the
only
free
2.
invokes.
There's only 2 free invokes left.
Oh, there are only 2 left. Okay, well, then
Stalking and drawing fire.
Oh,
So-
okay, sorry, I thought there were 3.
Nope.
In which case I cannot do 5.
But that'll still be some damage to it if you want to take those.
I will. I'll take them both and put as much ammunition into
Shields you
him as
down,
mine.
and you've done about half of his structural damage, but this thing is heavily armored.
Yes.
But you will light it up, and you are on its tail. Ship 2 will take its shots at you because you are on level. It's not going to do anything fancy. So -1. I've got a 4 on you right now.
I have a 3, so I take a hit to the shield.
Okay.
And a stress.
All right. And I'll spend a fate point. And does he have to do that? He's going to do a desperate attack on you. It's going to put him up 2 slots.
The Gorgon?
The Gorgon. He doesn't get any bonus to attack you, and he has the easy target.
I'm on his tail. Does he have to shake me?
No, not with the desperate attack. Essentially, that's a desperate action, gives him easy target, and he doesn't get a bonus for being on your tail, and it's a full phase.
Gotcha.
He is going to take his shots on you. So this is gunnery versus pilot, and he is going to fire off those missiles.
Oof.
So that gives me a 6. I'll use one of the fighter screens. Take me to an 8.
Well, I rolled poorly, so I think I am going to invoke veteran pilot and reroll. Well, that improves things to a 3, which is still not very good.
Yeah, there's a free invoke on the table of drawing fire.
I'll take it. So that gives me a 5.
5. So you are going to take 7 points of damage.
Oof. Well, yeah, because he got an 8. You said, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I can't avoid him altogether. Even burning fate points.
So 2 shields and 2 system damage.
Okay. That's what it is then.
Roll 2 dice fate.
Okay. There. That's trouble. Okay.
What'd you get for the 2 dice?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm having to
Sure.
reset the dice roller. Because it
Sure.
froze the button. Blank and a plus.
Okay, so pick one box from each of those: computer system damage and propulsion system damage.
Well, I never liked the computer anyway.
Yep.
So I will minimize the die on technology and tactics actions.
Okay. So anyone who
Son of a
didn't
bitch, here over the comb.
anyone who didn't do a tactical refocus will move their ship down. Let me go ahead and move the the villains down first. Paste. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. And transport will boost up to +2. All right, so we go to a new round, kind of swing back around. We go in that order, countdown. Red, you're first.
It's straight in the same square, but down.
Yeah, just shift down one row. And they had this weird drift thing. It's
Okay.
yes.
So I'm going to start out by creating another advantage. I
Okay.
call this one smoke 'em if you've got 'em.
Okay.
Just trying to set up a good opportunity, whether it's teasing an enemy fighter to chase after me, just to get them right lined up for somebody else to blast them out of the air.
Tactics
Whatever
again?
like that. Tactics.
Roll it.
Okay, that's flat on the die, so 4.
Okay, so that's 2 invokes on smoke 'em. That's your first thing. What do you do for
Yep.
second thing?
So second thing, I am really nervous about that Gorgon being lined up.
He has easy target, which is a free invoke, and he has no shields.
Okay. All that I wanted to do actually is push him, because I
push.
don't want him to take a shot on the transport.
Nice. So that's going to be pilot versus pilot.
Okay.
These things are not nearly as maneuverable as the other ships.
Okay, so that's a 3 total for me.
So that is going to push him down 2.
Perfect. He's mine. I'm going to get him back for that.
Do I have to move to do a push?
No, you just do it. Essentially, you're doing gunfire to drive him in a particular direction.
Okay, cool.
Green.
All right, so first action, I'm gonna snapshot on the guy that's on the same level as me.
Okay. Snapshot on the ace.
Yeah. 2, 4. So
Oh,
it's a
my
flat
luck.
roll, so it's a 2.
My luck has left me. I'm at a 2 as well.
Okay. What do we have anything on the board?
Yep. We've got 2 invokes on smoke 'em.
Okay, so I'm gonna take I guess one of those to
Okay.
at least do some damage to him.
That'll blow his shields out.
Okay.
And
And
oh no,
then-
actually that'll damage his shields, but they're still up.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my second action, and I'm gonna push him down to the 4 row if I can.
Okay. Let's have you roll pilot versus pilot.
Okay. Ugh. Okay, so it's a 1.
And I've got a 3.
If I use the last one on the board, would that push him down?
That'd push him down 1 level.
Yeah, I just want to get him even with the other guys so that they can take shots.
Okay. Elsie.
All right, so the Gorgon's been pushed down, correct?
Yep.
Um, I have to be above a ship to push it down, correct?
No.
So I could push down the ship that's on the gray ship that's on line 7.
Yes.
Okay. So for my first action, I'll go ahead and do that.
Wait, which you mean the
on line 4?
line 4?
Yes, the plus
Okay.
4.
Okay. All right. So pilot versus pilot.
Gives me a +2.
Okay, he is this +3. Gives it he's a 2 as well.
All right, so I need to invoke do I need to invoke anything to make that happen?
Yeah,
tie?
because right now you're tied.
Okay. Hang on a second, my invokes are not updating again. So
There's no free invokes on the table right now.
no free invokes on the table right now.
Yeah. And actually, you should do push as your second step. So if you want to create an advantage before that, you should do that.
Okay.
So let's step back a moment,
All right,
resolve
so
that.
let's create an advantage then.
Okay.
I want to disrupt their lines of fire.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to weave in and out of them.
Roll your piloting.
That is +2.
Okay. So you're going to get 1 invoke on that. Do you want to use that one on your push?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just do it that way.
Okay. So you can push him down 2 levels with that.
Gotcha.
Alex, you have a target-rich environment.
I think everyone's got more energy than me. Everyone is higher than me, except for Katya. So I feel safe-ish going after the gray one.
Okay. You want to move on to the tail?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to their tail and, and shoot at them.
Let's have you roll that.
That's piloting, right?
That's gunnery.
Gunnery. That's 1.
With a +2 for tailing.
That's 3.
3. So that will pop the last of his shields and do some structural damage to him. And you are on his tail. If you're still there on the next round, your bonus increases to a +3. But imagine you are right below him. He's probably going to try and shake you off when it comes to his action. Let's see. Let's take a snapshot. 3 is going to take a snapshot on that. Three lays in some gunfire on the transport and hits it, and see the transport shields kind of crack. Number 1 is going to take a shot on you, Blue. Snapshot. And that is a 4
out of 5.
So you will evade that shot there. Other one of its pair will take a shot. That is not enough to do more damage to the transport on this round. The ace. Oh. Let's see. I think that he's going to create an advantage. So basically increases one of the fighter screens, and then he is going to tactically refocus for his second action.
Does he have to shake the tail to do that, or?
Oh, that's right. He has to shake the tail for his second action instead. And actually, that's a full phase to do that. So thank you for reminding me about that. So this is pilot versus pilot. Alex, roll your piloting.
That's 4.
4. And he's at that. So he does not shake the tail on you. Just tied on that. Blue.
Hey, the Gorgon's back. I'm right back on his 6.
Yep.
So I'm going to lay into him.
Okay. We'll consider that you're still on the tail because he got pushed down in that same space. So if you want to take the +3, you can do that.
Okay, and so that is a base of 7. Yes.
Piloting for him. Ooh, that was not a great roll. So -1. So 1.
That's 9 points of damage.
Well, I could use all my invokes to save him, but I like the idea that he got pushed down, and before he can even react, you will launch into him, and that Gorgon explodes. He is off the table.
Not too soon.
Nice shoot, Nati.
Shots.
I had some help.
Shots from the goblins on the same level as you. First shot is going to be a 4. I'll spend one of those things to make it a 6.
Difficult for me.
So I've got a 6 on you right now.
My roll there is a 3. I'm going to do these people have heavy weapons or
There's simple weapon 1s.
okay. I will spend my last fate point.
So it's a 5. So you'll take 2 points.
Yes,
Would you-
so
you-
one bounces off the shield because my shield regenerates.
Okay. But you still take a hit.
Okay.
So roll system damage.
Blank.
Blank. So you had another hit on your propulsion system. I assume you're taking your piloting.
I did. Yes.
Okay. And
I say to my ship, which is nicknamed Rasputin, I said, "It's not your time to die. Keep going."
other shot on you from the other one of that pair, but you don't take the effects of this because this is all done simultaneous. So I've got a 5 on you.
I have a 2. Terrible roll.
So you're going to need to take another system hit. Minus. So pick your poison on critical system damage.
I'll take a cut.
Okay. So you'll take 5 shifts of damage.
There is a volley of curses in Russian, as I'm going to take a moderate consequence
Okay.
to soak up the stress that I can't otherwise take. And I'm going to take a burn through.
All right. Transport
Intensely painful.
transport ship. You don't have to reset your things. Don't drift down because nobody tactically refocus. Transport ship is going to go up 3 plus 1 is 4, so it is going to go up to 6. If you can make it through this next round, transport ship will be free and you'll be able to punch out of here. Top of the line, red. You see that Katya's ship is smoking, hull torn open, burning. What do?
Are we at the point where a rescue is Katya's not stranded, but I feel like she might be soon.
If Katya takes much more damage, Katya is going to have to punch out.
Yeah. Okay, but she'll punch out after. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is just try to help make that not happen.
Okay.
So I'm going to use piloting for this instead of tactics, but I'm going to start by creating an advantage, just called, hey, look over here.
Okay.
Just kind of getting up in their grill to draw focus away, this time instead from the transport, away from Katya.
Let's have you roll.
Okay. So that's +1. That's 7 on ships. I think I have a 2 on piloting.
Okay.
No, 3 on piloting. So
Okay.
that's a 5.
Okay. 2 invokes on, hey, look over here. That's your first step. What do you want to do for your second step?
And the second, I'm going to do another push down to try to get that guy with all the kill marks. I'd like
Okay.
him out of range.
Perfect. Pilot versus pilot.
Okay.
He has 3.
That's a flat for me, so that's a 3 total.
Oh, and I've got a 2, so he'll drop down 1.
Which unfortunately still makes it possible to get a shot.
Yeah. Green.
Alrighty. Just so we know, Alex is still on the tail of the ace.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Okay. I'm going to drop down on the tail of the number 3.
Okay.
Is that damaged or is that
One of the
down.
pair is gone. Yeah. One
okay?
is...
All right. Then I'm going to drop down on the number 1 then. So
Okay.
I can try and go up against 2. Let's see here. Control X. And like that. And I'm firing off my rockets. I got
Okay.
one volley left. And it's an even roll, so that is 2 plus. Do I add the weapon into the total?
No, just the gunnery.
Okay, so it'll be at a 2.
And I've got a 0. What's the weapon damage on that?
6.
So those rockets will blow one of them out of the sky.
If I take any other invoke, can I get both of them, or is it just one at a time?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Let's do that.
Okay, how many invokes would we need?
Just give me an invoke. Like,
Okay.
do you have a
Hey,
fate point? Or
no. Hey,
left?
look over here.
Yeah,
Okay,
use one of those up, and
Yeah.
that pair is dead as you launch your rocket volley into them.
Cool. and I say, Rook, take that one down. Stay on target.
And we come back to Elsie.
All right.
Little help, farm girl.
So I'm going to create an advantage.
Okay.
What to do? You know, I can't use toe pick, but I can stall.
Okay.
So I am going to do the incredibly ludicrous thing of just flying right in front of one of these enemy fighters and then just slam on the brakes to force it to go over me.
Let's have you roll a pilot.
That's +5.
2 invokes on stall drop. We'll put that on the table. And your second action?
Okay. Which ship is jeopardized? Well, there's actually 3 ships jeopardizing Katya, right?
Yep.
The one
Yeah, the-
on.
the
Next
gray
one to
is
go
silver
is
stone.
the next one to go is 3.
All right,
but-
I'll push down. I'll push the one on line 3 down.
Okay.
Okay. So roll pilot.
Although you have to push him down 3 to get him out. Might be better to go after the gray one.
What do you got?
Yeah, if you push down the ace,
Let's resolve the action. It's declared.
sorry.
Yeah. That's a really crappy roll.
We've got some invokes on the table.
Yeah, but not enough, and I want to make sure those are available for other people. I think I have a fate point that I can use to re-roll.
Sure.
Still. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop a fate point. and
Okay.
re-roll.
Let's have you use that reroll. Ooh,
That gets me to +6.
okay, that will drop him by 4 slots. Forces him down. And Alex, you're on the tail of the ace. You've got your gunnery plus another +3 for being on the tail.
I'm gonna go for him. So that's a snapshot, right?
It's on their tail. It's a full phase attack. So roll with gunnery.
Okay. Okay, that's 1, 2 + 3, 5.
5, and I've got that. If weapon damage does that, that is exactly enough to take him out. So you let loose the guns and you'll rack across the side of this ace who's been bounced around. You've been on his tail for a while, and whoosh, and you'll fly through the debris. Classic Star Wars fashion there.
Nice.
And Katya.
I am going to do a trick that I worked out in the some time ago, which is I'm going to create an advantage with gunnery.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is I am firing while speeding up at a rate calculated to match the rate of the repeating guns, so that what would be a stream of fire ends up just as a big cloud of missiles. And this is to make things difficult for my opposite number there.
Roll.
Well, a dreadful roll means I got a 2.
2. So you have 1 invoke on that cloud of fire.
And then second, I will try to pull up.
The tactical refocus.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe you minimize one of your dice for tactics.
Do. So does that mean I just take the best die and minimize and make it a minus?
Yep.
Great. I guess I can't do worse than where I am.
But you've also got some invokes on the table as well.
It's true. But my dice have turned to ice.
You want to spend an invoke to reroll?
I think so.
Okay.
Because otherwise it would be -4.
Yeah. So take your reroll.
Okay, it's just a -2.
-2. What does that get you to?
That is a 0.
And if you invoke 2 of them,
I'll
you can
do
get
an
yourself to a
invoke.
4.
Okay. I'll invoke. I'll just get to a 2 is plenty.
Okay.
I just wanted to get above these guys. Or actually, no, I guess I will take it to a 4. Then he can't even do a desperate attack.
Absolutely. So you will take that fire and then boost yourself upwards. And they're forced to like drop and try to come back. But the 5 of you can follow alongside on this transport, hit out of orbit, and essentially punch it to the rendezvous point where you can meet up with the rest of the fleet. Smoking and smoldering in some cases, bleeding in other cases, but everybody alive. Let's go to epilogues. Caden, what's going to be our epilogue for you?
I think Caden is journaling because he's spent so much time studying his father's journals, and we start our shot at his wastebasket, which is just filled with tossed out drafts of his after action report, where he covers the frustrations that he's had, where he's felt that he could have done better, botching the bomb, and some of the conflicted feelings that he's had about Elsie's reveal, where in the end he's really happy for her, but it might have been news that we could have used yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all tossed out drafts, and he ends with a very simple journal entry, which is mission accomplished, everyone back alive.
And I think maybe we flash to maybe some of your father's journals sitting there on the table, and I imagine many of them have that exact same entry.
Yeah.
Elsie, what is your epilogue?
I think after everybody's settled down, patched up, etc., I've gone to Zeke and Caden and Katya and said, do you all have a minute?
Sure.
And just taken him down to the chapel to meet Chuck and show Chuck that I fulfilled my end of the bargain, and I'm putting in for that transfer to medical evacs.
And I think that you will see your executive officer, Maruyuma, will accept that, though you get the sense that there is some reluctance on her part. But that is your choice. And you stick with your moral and family obligations. Katya, what is your epilogue?
I want to just add something to that. Elsie gets a little package, finds a little package when she leaves, which is from Katya, and it's a pin with the insignia of the fighter corps here, and a little note that says, "Those Marines never had it so good." Katya's epilogue is she is sitting in the burn tank in the base hospital, and she is saying, "Well, boys and girls, and everyone else, I somehow failed to get killed yet again." and the Rasputin's not dead. Don't ask me why. It took enough damage to kick any 2 ships into the crapper. So you'll still have to put up with me for a little while longer.
Nice. Zeus.
I think it's going to be going back to Zeus just relaxing and playing poker with his tech buddies, and he's gotten 10 kills, so he might be an ace now, maybe not. But as the stories are flying, he's just playing them down and everything like that. And then one of the techs gets up and moves away, and then you see Amanda kill switch walk in and which sit down at the poker table, and Zeus actually perks up and goes like, okay, now we can start playing a real game. And I think it's gonna cut there.
Nice. Alex, what do we see for you in your epilogue? Are you joining Tachyon Squadron? Are you doing something else? What do we see?
I think after what happened with the ace, Alex is considering to. Now, Alex is using it as a lever to enter Tachyon Squadron, and it closes with Alex entering the room and finding a message from home asking them to go back. And it's like, no, I have one more thing to do here.
Nice. Lots of good parent stuff as you set that down. Thank you all very much. That's our 4 sessions of Tachyon Squadron. I'd love to do just a quick stars. I know we're a little bit over time, but I would like to go around and do that. Anya, thank you so much for coming in on this last session. I hope it was okay, and you got a taste of it. You jumped in with both feet, and it was very much appreciated. So thank you for being willing to do that. Let's go around, same order, just a quick stars, things you liked, things you want to say. Vince?
I'll kick off with it. It's a cliche, but stars all around. Really great stuff from everybody. But Brandon, I really enjoyed getting to have our scenes of Katya denying Caden his bit of Thanatos, where he was ready to go down, and she's like, "Don't be stupid." Like there's ways that we can do this where everybody gets out, and we're going to do it that way.
Nice. Puckett?
Like Vince said, stars all around. I wish we'd had a little more time for character scenes, but there's only so much you can do on that. But even so, I think everybody put in really nice little character bits, like Caden and the bomb. That was okay. I mean, that certainly was part of Caden's character. Zeus scrambling around and like bossing people around in the flight bay. There was a lot of great small details that people were able to put in, and I really liked that bit of it. So yeah, stars all around.
Excellent. Thank you. Brandon?
Yes, I liked Caden and the bomb and having to rein him in. During the last combat, everyone's keeping Katya from being killed, which is a near thing. But it would have happened if people hadn't all joined forces. That was wonderful to see.
Yeah.
And also just sort of the desperate nature of that last fight, where we, having spent most of our fate points and such like that, we're, having to fight the worst enemies, of course, which is dramatically perfect. Yes, it's just this crazy move that turned out well in the bay, and then watching watching them make off with the transports and and such like that, right under it, snatching it under the noses of the various mechanics there. That was all great. I like the whole situation.
Awesome. Awesome. Harry?
Again, stars all around. Anya, you came in and you hit it out of the park, right? Right out of the gate. The pirate radio and the line with Zeus coming up Zeus, that was awesome. Vince, I think you succeeded at bringing the squad back. You fulfilled it, and I'm glad you did it without having to get your character killed off. It's a success. And then for Brandon and Puckett, I think both of you stuck with your characters. I don't know what the term is. Core. I mean, and you just stuck with it the whole way, and I think you did a fantastic job. And Lowell, you run an awesome game.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Anya, thank you again for coming in. Anything you want to say star-wise?
Yeah, basically, at least for me, it was very clear what was the concept of each one of your characters. So it was very easy to read each one of you. That was amazing, because sometimes all characters are trying to do everything at once. And Lowell, in particular, this is the second game I play with you, and I'm so stealing this phrase. So it sounds like you want to, because it's so useful, and I loved it, and I'm totally using that in my own games.
Awesome. And it was such a pleasure to play with you again, and to see your dogs, who are super cuties in the background. Thank you, everyone, for going with this. It's got a little bit involved on the process of doing the fights, but I do dig it, and I think Clark has done a really interesting job of pulling together a neat system for Fate. So I am going to stop the recording.